Yes, it's a modern-day Dallas, transposed to the wide-open spaces of Montana. But this show does linger on and love those wide-open spaces. I'm Joel Sharpton, podcaster, editor, and consultant, and Dad would have loved Yellowstone. This is our first TV series to cover here on Dad Would Have Loved This, so I guess watch this space for Gunsmoke and the Rifleman in the future, now that we've opened those floodgates. If I tell you that my dad hated J.R. Ewing and Dallas, I mean he hated them. Not quite as much as he hated the Golden Girls, but that's a story for another day. Dad really did hate J.R., and he would have hated Jamie Dutton. And if I'm being honest, probably Beth too, as her mouth is much too foul for his tastes. But he would have been head over heels for Casey, for Rip, and especially for Kevin Costner's John Dutton. Yellowstone is a 5-season TV series that has now spawned a full-on franchise for Paramount and creator Taylor Sheridan. The franchise now includes 2 prequel series, 1883 and 1923, that detail some of the history of the Dutton family, and seems to soon feature a spin-off sequel series focusing on the 4-6's ranch in Texas. Kevin Costner's patriarch John is joined by Kelly Riley as his daughter Beth, Luke Grimes as his son Casey, Wes Bentley as son Jamie, and Cole Hauser as the ranch foreman Rip Wheeler. As the series progresses, you also get quite a few country music cameos and even a couple of long-term roles for country music performers, which all allow for a lot of live music performances during the show. The drama of the Dutton family as they struggle to maintain their ranch on the edge of the Yellowstone National Park is, of course, at the center of this series. But creator and writer Taylor Sheridan genuinely does seem to love this land, and highlights and romanticizes it throughout the series. He also realistically portrays the struggle of working in an industry that is dying, or at least on the decline, as the cowboys that work the Yellowstone and other ranches presented in the series understand that the future does not look bright for their way of life. The acting in Yellowstone is pretty great across the board, and there are several minor characters who get fantastic series-long arcs that are not only interesting, but rewarding for the viewers. There is a little too much peril for a few members of the Dutton family to maintain credulity, and late-stage contract issues with Kevin Costner meant that the series' conclusion was rushed and probably not exactly what the creators had originally intended. But then again, the franchise is perhaps only beginning, and many of the major players in this series are likely to continue their stories in others down the road. Yellowstone gets 4.5 stars from me. It was a heck of a good time. My guess is Dad would have docked it a star for all of the language and Beth's character in general, which accounts for about half of the language in the series. Mom, meanwhile, would probably give it a full extra star for Beth alone. My mom does love Yellowstone, and if it had appeared just a few years earlier, I know my dad would have loved it, and I bet yours will too. Subscribe to the channel to get every episode as soon as it drops, and stick around for just a minute more to hear our spoiler discussion. My biggest gripe of the whole show is that Tate and Monica are over-imperiled throughout. Genuinely, it seems like all Taylor Sheridan could think of to do with them is put them in danger until the very end of the series. Kevin Costner left this modern TV mega hit to make his latest Western epic, Horizon, an American saga. Chapter 1 of Horizon promptly flopped at the box office and has now effectively become a Netflix original, so whether or not he gets to produce the full thing is still unknown. Seems to me like Taylor Sheridan might have taken the whole thing personally, as he takes every opportunity to show us the body of John Dutton in this final season without showing us Kevin Costner's face. As a matter of fact, Kevin only appears once as an image on a news telecast in the very final episode. Internal universe show drama aside, about the 4th time we walk around the body, it gets to be laughable. I am genuinely excited to watch the 2 prequel series, as I've had several people tell me they like those even better than this primary series from the Yellowstone universe. My guess is both 1883 and 1923 will eventually show up here on Dad Would Have Loved This as well. I don't know if you noticed, but we did a Kevin Costner film last week, we did a Kevin Costner TV series this week, and we're doing a Kevin Costner movie next week, as we'll be talking about Horizon, an American Saga, Chapter 1. Let's find out whether your dad would have loved that.